I wrote this book called Program or Be Programmed, where I looked at sort of 10 major biases of these media. The bias of digital technology, I would argue, is not to speed things up, but is digital technology lives outside time. Digital technology is sequential. So that the way to use it in a healthy fashion, or at least in a way that's consonant with the bias of the technology, would be asynchronously. The way we used to have conversations on BBSs back in the day. You'd go on the well, say, which one of my favorites?
Sorry, what's a BBS?
A bulletin board service or a Usenet service. You would have these asynchronous conversations, not real time, but you would you turn on your computer, you'd plug it into a modem. Remember a modem? And that would dial through a phone onto the internet. You download a conversation from a server, you disconnect, you'd read the whole conversation in your own time, offline, not spending any, you used to have to spend telephone minutes when you went on the computer. You'd read it in your own time, and then you'd think, how do I want to respond to this conversation? And you might spend an hour, 2 hours, or all night writing 1 or 2 brilliant paragraphs into this conversation with these people who you respected. Then you'd get and then you'd plug back in and you'd upload it to the thing, and you'd wait a day or so to see how people responded. It was like chess by mail. And the beauty of it was you actually sounded smarter on the internet than you did in real life. I mean, imagine that, right? The net was a place where you were your smarter self because you stacked time into it, rather than having time extracted by it.
Wait, isn't that a little bit like saying life was so much better when you had to book an international phone call than nowadays when you just go bip, bip, bip into your phone and you call your friend in Paris or something? And that sounds like technological nostalgia.
No, it's technological hopefulness. Now, with the power of the net to be able to download that in the background and come to it in the evening when you want to, it doesn't change the fact that digital technology is stacking. That email is not a phone call. That once somebody has relegated a message to email, they've put it in timelessness, where it can now stack in your inbox. It's not a phone call where they've interrupted your actual real-time flow. But we misuse these technologies, and we assume that email is somehow part of that freshness stamped real-time flow when it's not. And partly that's because the other person has that expectation on us, and they have that expectation on us because we answer our email right away. So the easiest way to unwind it, to intervene, is to say, no, I'm not. I'm going to answer my email in my own time because that's what this technology lets me do.